Hey guys, welcome back. This is Damien. We are currently on day 32 of the first phase of 55 days of a three-phase journey going from being unemployed, overweight, and broke to a place of financial income, a good job, being in shape, and having some financial stability in the course of about 5 months. By December 22nd, 2013 is the goal of hitting these objectives. And part of the reason I'm doing this blog, if you've been following, is because I want to show the things that I've been doing and the things that I've been learning through the process, and things that I've read in books, tips, and suggestions that I've learned of, and I want to share them on to you, pass them on to you, and share them with you, so that you will be in a better situation as well to achieve the goals that you want to achieve, to be successful, and to pull yourself out of the situation of where you're at right now, just like I am. As you'll notice if you check out my day one blog, I was 50 pounds overweight, had been unemployed since December 20th of 2012, 5 days before Christmas, and had no money in the bank. And fortunately now, after going on 31 days or 32 days, I'm in a position where I've got a little bit of money in the bank. We were able to find a job for my wife to go back to work. She wasn't working and is doing very well, not necessarily financially, income-wise, but is really doing well at her job and climbing up a little bit in pay. And I've been doing a bunch of things that are leading to being in a better place myself. So things are progressing. They're definitely a lot better than they were 30 days ago. And so I want to encourage you, if you haven't been following along, to follow along going forward, because I'm going to keep providing tips and suggestions through until December 22nd of 2013, when hopefully I've reached my goal. So anyways, today what I want to talk about is I want to talk about the book The Present. You may have heard of it or read it in the past. A lot of companies and corporations have bought these in bulk and passed them out to their employees. But it's called The Present. It's by Dr. Spencer Johnson. And Dr. Spencer Johnson has written a few books like this, like Who Moved the Cheese, or Who Moved My Cheese, a couple other things. But they're short little reads. They're fun. They're more little fables, I guess if you will, little books that are meant to have a meaning to them, but be fairly simplistic in the story and fairly easy to read and a quick read, but are good books. So I read this book before in the past, and I've just thought about it again recently, going through this situation that I'm going through right now, that I thought it was more applicable now than it probably was in the past when I was doing very well. And part of the reason is when you find yourself in this situation where, let's say, you've lost your job like I have, or you're struggling financially, you're physically not in very good shape, it's really hard to be in the present moment. And the reason is because we're not content, we're not happy about where we're at right now. The present is not where we want to be. It's almost as if you want to be anywhere but the present moment. And you want to think of the past. You want to think of all the wrongs and how your corporation wronged you for letting you go, how people wronged you for maybe undermining you at work and doing things to put you in a bad position, or maybe somebody played politics in your office and it got you in this position to lose your job. Maybe it was a spouse or a child or somebody in your family that you felt like might have pulled your attention away and caused you to lose focus on your job, and so maybe you're upset about that. There's so many things you can blame, and there's so many reasons in the past that you can look at to put yourself in the position that you're in now to try to feel better about everything, but it's useless. You have to learn from the past, and that's what the book The Present talks about, is don't live in the past, because it's not going to help you unless you're living in the past on a short-term basis, only to learn from it, to figure out what you did wrong, and then to move on. And the other thing that happens in situations like this where we've lost a job, financially struggling, not doing so well, is we tend to get very anxious and think about the future, right? How am I going to make my car payment? Is my car going to get repoed? Where am I going to get money to provide food? School's coming back up. I've got to buy clothes for the kids. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. What a failure I am. How am I going to do this? There's all these things. And so anxiety, and by the way, there's a blog that I did, a video blog on anxiety, and talked about how to avoid it and steps to take to get over it. But we tend to be anxious, and anxiety is usually based on the future. It's anxious about things that haven't happened yet. And so when you're in a situation like you and I are in, it's really hard to be in the present, because either we want to be in the past and we want to ruminate about things that happened and where we went wrong, or we want to jump to the future and have a lot of anxiety about the things that haven't happened yet and how are we going to do that. And the present, though, is the happiest place and the best place for you to be. And this book, The Present, will do a very good job of helping you understand how, A, to stay in the present, how, B, to use the past and things that happened to you as a learning instrument, as a learning device to be better in the present, and then C, how to avoid the future outside of simply planning when you need to plan, but how to avoid being anxious about the future, and to truly respect and appreciate the present that you are in and the opportunities that you have available right now in the situation that you're in. As bad as it may be, there's always some kind of hope, and there's something that you can look forward to keep yourself in the present, or about the present to keep yourself here. So I want to encourage you to read the book The Present. If you haven't, go down to your library if you don't have money to buy it, which is what I would recommend, and check it out. I think you'll learn some great things from it. So with that, I'll catch you again tomorrow. Hope you have a wonderful evening and a wonderful day.